Hey, Jennifer Duclair here with another golden gem for you. I am speaking to new attorneys or attorney/entrepreneurs who are building a law life that they are in love with. Okay, you are a new attorney if you're within your first 3 years of practice. I'm helping you to be able to get started on the right foot. An increasing number of my successful bar passers are now attorneys, and the mindset that they learned in passing the bar is helping them to get dream jobs with wonderful compensation and great working environments. And yet sometimes once they get to that new level, you know what we say, new level, new devil. So I am creating this series to address points that are coming up as I speak with clients that are returning. I love you all. You come through, you pass the bar with this mindset first methodology, and then it's like, if I apply this mindset stuff to my working world too, my life could look so much better. And it's already juicy to begin with. So, there is no limit. Sky's not the limit. There's no limit. Just keep applying that mindset methodology and you've got it. So let's dive into this golden gem. It's about bosses and whether or not they are good managers. You let me know. Comment below. Is your boss a good manager? Yes or no? If you're not sure, stick to it. Stick to this video. I am going to show you exactly how to know whether you're working for someone who knows how to manage versus someone who doesn't, and what to do if you are in that unfortunate camp of working for a boss who does not know how to manage. So you get hired. Yay! Wonderful job, wonderful pay. Hopefully you did not settle. If you are settling, let's have a conversation. No settling allowed. And now you are getting the employee handbook or the law firm handbook, and you are reading like all the stuff that navigates the systems and technology that you'll be using. And you are getting instructions on how to make sure that things work properly. And you are getting forms to fill out for all the various things that you're signing up for, whether it's personal benefits or whether it's your association dues being paid, or whether it's the pro bono hours that you need to, be on the list to get assigned. Like, everything is coming to you, and you seem to be swamped in this onboarding paperwork and all these manuals to read and all these things to introduce yourself to. But let me tell you right now, Esquire, you are in a lovely and enviable position, because this means that your firm has got it together. They took the time, and it does take time, to systematize everything, create a process around everything, and document everything so that it's easily passable. And now all you have to do is actually learn it. If you are in the camp of Esquires who get hired and don't know where to log on, don't know when your next pay date is, don't know who you talk to for benefits, and if you ask, then you're handed the phone number to go talk directly to the company's representative, like the salesperson, about your benefits. You don't know how you're supposed to answer the phone, if you're supposed to answer the phone. You don't know anything, much less what the system is around your actual work product. Because every company is different, every firm is different, every employer is different in what they expect to see representing their firm in public filings. So you don't know any of this, and you're just sitting at your desk waiting for somebody to come to you and tell you to do this next. I do not envy you. And you are working in a firm or for an employer who does not know how to manage. Let's say that you're already in, and maybe you got past that beginning hump, but you get assignments thrown at you that you have no idea how to complete. You get told to create this or create that document and send it to me for review and editing, and you don't even, like, you've never created such a document before. And they don't tell you where to find a sample or a template or anything. You don't know the kind of clients that your company is wanting to work with. So you might pass someone on through for consultation and onboarding and whatnot, like all the steps, only to find out later, the attorney's like, We don't work with these kind of people. Now, if they're telling it to you in such like a, let me teach you about this and let me show you the warning signs. But if they're coming, that's fine. But if they're coming to you with you should have known better, then you're not working for somebody who is a great manager. Now, to their, let's make it easy on them too. Attorneys aren't taught how to manage. They're barely taught how to start and run their own firm, if they are taught that at all. So there's a steep learning curve for an attorney who decides to open up a firm. Now, if they've been in the game for a while or they got training in entrepreneurship and in management, those are two different things. Entrepreneurship, you're by yourself. Management, you have other people who can do the same thing you do, but they're relying on you for a steady paycheck as opposed to you create the paycheck, right? And so when you have people like that and you have the employee relationship going on, there's a whole other education that comes with how to manage that relationship. And it's not just about payroll and benefits. It is about training, processes, procedures, systems, values, culture, all that stuff. And that is a whole other school, okay? So if you are the person who works for someone like that, then you need to, one, let yourself off the hook. If you're feeling like inadequate at your job, or you don't know things that you're supposed to have known, or you don't deserve this job, you're in the wrong place, it is likely not because any of those things are true. It is more likely because your boss doesn't have a system in place for you to easily create the work product that they're looking for. They have their own system in place. They didn't think to share it with you. They don't create every template from scratch. You better believe they go and find one of their old cases and they remember who they did this and this for, and they go find that person's file and they work from it. Now, the smart thing to do, which no fault to your boss if they haven't, this takes a lot of manpower, a lot of time, and a lot of money that doesn't come back immediately. It pays off in the long run as your employees are able to hit the ground running much faster. But in the short term, it doesn't pay off immediately. And you should know, especially if you're one of the first employees for a person, that right now they're just worried about keeping the lights on, keeping the bills paid, making sure to meet your payroll. That's if you're in a small firm. So a lot of people opt to go for larger size firms, or maybe small firms that have been around for 20 years or more. So if that's the case and they don't have templates and things that are already ready for you to use, then ask. Okay, so now we're moving into how to manage the situation if you are working for a boss who is not a good manager. Ask. If you don't know, ask. I have a video that talks about how to go about this as well. I'll try to link it somewhere here. It's the video entitled Juggling Tasks when you are, an attorney. And it's to help you to feel good about yourself, feel good about your work product, and not get bogged down with, oh, I'm going to be fired kind of issues. It's to help you prioritize, get good sleep, and still maintain your self-care, thereby giving better work product and even making money for the company by keeping a balanced self. Go watch that video. Ask. If you're working for a boss who is not a good manager, ask for any task that you get. How would you like for me to go about this? Is there a way that we already do this around here? Do you have a template that you want me to work off of? One person I was talking with, she would get these tasks, go and do them, spend hours doing them. After having done it, realize, a paralegal could have done this, and then find out that she was supposed to redelegate it to a paralegal. She was given a task that she was supposed to redelegate, and she didn't know that. She spent her lawyer hours doing a task that was supposed to be done by the paralegal. Okay, always ask. Okay, and then know that your boss is not a manager, and they may not know that they're not a good manager. I'm telling you, it's a learning curve. So we have empathy, and that's what's going to help you get through the days, is to have empathy and understanding. They don't know that they're not a good manager, right? And then you do what you need to do. If you are set on staying in that job, you do what you need to do to shore that up, all right? To cover it on your end. You may need to ask them the questions to get the answers out of them. They may not take the time to sit down and give you the answers because they don't know the importance of giving you those answers. And that is part and parcel with the fact that they don't know they're not a good manager. So you're going to need to have a sit down with them at some point, especially if you can't pin them down to get the answers that you need, and let them know, hey, listen, you gave me XYZ assignment, and I don't know how to do this assignment. right? Or I've not created such a document before. Now, I know I could do a very good job for you if I had a template to go off of. Can you tell me the name of a client that you created this for? And I can go look up their client file, right? And just be straight up. This really goes to the attorney who is working in a small firm, probably thus far a one-man show. And I'm remembering my attorney years. And that attorney is so busy running around that they don't have time to get the bang for their buck, the money that they're spending on you, payroll. But at the same time, your payroll costs are real. So they're wondering, am I getting what I'm paying for? Meanwhile, you haven't been properly onboarded or trained. So it's going to be up to you to tactfully present the case that you can't give them what they're looking for unless they take the time to give you what you need. And a lot of bosses don't know that. So you're going to have to, especially if you want to keep this position and you're not starting to look elsewhere, you're going to have to figure out how to get the information that you need in order to do your job. Hopefully, your boss is not quite that bad. But if you need to navigate more hairy situations, refer to another video that I recorded with a guest speaker, Winning the Game at Work. It'll help you to learn what it is that your higher ups or your boss is looking for and how to shift yourself into a frame of mind where you can give them what they actually need, right? Not what you think that they want. So that will help you with the mental game and navigating politics of firm life, especially if you are in a firm that has multiple layers of supervision, right? It's not a one-man show. The next thing to know, yes, remember that your boss has a boss if you're in a larger setting. And then you may also have support. So you have people to ask your support first before you go back to your own boss. Keep in mind that your boss has a boss and they have a different set of pressures that are on their shoulders. Put yourself in their shoes so that you can navigate this a whole lot easier. A lot of this is a mindset game, really is. It's about what you're doing in your mind. So take a minute, breathe, go inside and think about it. Where are they coming from? What do you feel like they're expecting of you? What do you need in order to fulfill their expectations? And then open your eyes and go from there. A lot of us rush into this manic energy of push, 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 and do, especially when we're feeling inadequate. I urge you to avoid that. When you get an assignment that you don't know heads or tails about, take a minute to touch within and breathe. And then ask yourself some key questions. What do I know about this? What do I don't know about this? What are my next steps so I can find out what I don't know? As a boss, I can tell you that I can't help an employee unless if they know what questions to ask me. Now, over time, I've spent time studying my own business and figuring out what I need to get out of my head and onto paper so that they can do the best job possible. But there will be times when they get an assignment or they hit on something that heretofore I had only done, or my closest, longest lasting employee had only done. And now here's a new person trying to do it. And so much information is in our head that we just assume, or we don't even realize we're assuming that they'll figure out. If they don't know what questions to ask, we don't know what information is missing. So you need to take time to find out, what is it that I don't know about this assignment? What information do I need in order to do a good job? It could be, I don't know how to even start this freaking thing. You need a template. I don't know what the facts are. You need to go get the client file, right? You don't know what facts you need, template, because a template will show you what facts were brought in and now you know what to go gather from the new client's file, right? And so this and other things will come to you if you take a minute to just breathe and pass by the anxiety, the performance anxiety and all that stuff, the fear that you're going to create something terrible or take too long creating it or whatever. Pass by all that stuff by just taking a minute to breathe and just simply ask yourself a few questions. What do I need? What do I not know? How do I find out what I don't know? And maybe that means starting off with a paralegal or a legal assistant, someone who has been there longer than you is familiar with this sort of thing. They might even be in the best position to say such a client had a very similar filing that was needed, and you could probably find a good template to work off of for them. I don't know. So if you're working for someone, whether they're a good manager or a bad manager, there is a way to navigate it. Stay tuned to this channel for more golden gems to help you build a law life that you are in love with. Bye for now.